prisoner of war camps. Good morning. This is unexpected. It was very foggy yesterday. It was very foggy this morning. I expected to be walking in the fog, but on the drive here I got above the fog, the sun came out, and now we got these amazing inversions. From where I am I can't really fully see the inversions, but I saw them on the drive. Anyway, this is a classic Peak District walk. It's not the kind of thing I do very often, but it is a great walk. I've done it a few times before, and it's perfect for this time of year. So I parked at this lay-by, so free parking off the 515. It's right next to Knowe Lane, I think this is. And we're going to cross over the road and join the Tissington Trail. Right, so we're on the Tissington Trail, and we're going to head towards, well, head in the direction of Newhaven is the way to go, alongside the road initially, in the direction towards Newhaven. The Tissington Trail is one of these former railways that's been turned into a bridle way. On this walk there's quite a bit of industrial history. Over there we've got a disused quarry. So a couple of videos ago I gave you my Peak District ghost story for Christmas, and I have been watching the old BBC adaptations of ghost stories for Christmas. I'm walking along this disused railway track in the fog. Really does bring to mind one of those stories, The Signalman by Charles Dickens. Even though I've not gone through any tunnels, it's brought it very much to mind. That's a great one if you haven't watched that. As feared, the inversion is starting to lift. It's lifting quite quickly actually. So I'm just looking ahead to Biggin Church. I'll be turning off just up here. Okay, when you get to this bridge here, you just need to cross over it and then take the footpath coming off the Tissington Trail, and then walk down the lane into Biggin. Now this is very interesting. I never noticed this before. Prisoner of war camps. So just follow the road through Biggin, and on the other side keep going for a bit. Just the other side of Biggin you get to this junction here, and this is where we turn off into Biggin Dale, the highlight of today's walk. I've got that great crisp sound of walking on frost. So it looks like I've missed the inversion. It's gone already. Half an hour ago, if I'd been down here, I would have been walking into thick fog, I think, but no longer. But it's still incredibly beautiful. There may not be the full inversion that I was hoping for, but it is incredibly beautiful in the mist, in the sunshine and the frost. Now, this is one of my favourite White Peak walks. It's from a book. There's an Ordnance Survey book of, I think it's one of the Pathfinder series. I'll put a link to it anyway. It's a really strange book in terms of what it includes and what it doesn't include for Peak District walks. But I've walked quite a few of them, and I have to say this is the best walk from that book. And it's doubly as good on a day like today. So now we've just come through a gate and we're in the top of the dale proper, really. And you'll notice some ruins. I've checked on the old maps. This whole area was lead mined quite extensively, and the landscape is littered with the ruins of lime kilns, which is what this used to be, a lime kiln. And then this structure here is an old sheepfold. I don't know if you can make it out, but the sun is burning off the frost. I have in the past done a walk, I think I did it twice in fact, along the top of Biggin Dale. There's not really a path. There's kind of a path that you can follow. It is access land, but you get some stunning views from up there. One time there was in the middle of the day, there was an owl, and I got pretty close to it before it saw me and took off. I've been thinking what I probably should have done is done the route in reverse, because that way I would have pretty much, within the first few minutes of the walk, got views down into the dales and hopefully have seen some pretty impressive inversions. But never mind. As I say, it's pretty beautiful as it is, and there's no one else around. I think on the Tissington Trail I passed one cyclist just before I turned off to Biggin. Obviously in the village of Biggin there were a few people around and there was a few vehicles on the road, but since turning off into Biggin Dale I've not seen anybody on a day like this as well. So here we've got another ruin of some kind. I'm not sure what this is, but it's probably either a sheepfold or a lime kiln. Looks more like a sheepfold. When you come to this point here, you are headed that way, but what you need to do to follow the path is go this way, and then behind that wall runs the path. You can get through that way, and it is quite interesting down there, but today I think I'm just going to follow the path. This is another part of Biggin Dale, and at this point the two join together. I'm not sure how clearly you can see, but that is completely iced up. And I was just saying I've not seen anybody, and here come two people. So here we want to follow the signpost to Wolfscote Dale. This is where the sides of the dale start getting quite steep and quite high, and if you do choose to walk along the top, you get some pretty spectacular views. So depending on what time of year or what the weather's been like, the point where you reach flowing water will change. Starting to get a bit more popular now. Just past a couple of people and I can hear voices ahead. But we are coming up to 11 o'clock, and it is a very popular part of the Peak District, and it is the day after Boxing Day, so it's got to be expected. We're close to the bottom of Biggin Dale now, and this is the point where we have Biggin Dale Cave. What's interesting about this cave is it's not marked on the older maps, although it clearly is old. It's only quite recently that it started to appear on the Ordnance Survey maps. It's not a natural cave, it's a calcite mine where a seam of calcite has been mined out. I have been in here quite a few times. it just follows in a straight line and then comes to a fairly abrupt halt, and you can't go any further, or well, it doesn't actually go any further. It can get pretty wet in here, so I'm going to give it a go, but as I say, it just goes along in a straight line and then comes to a halt. So I'll walk as far as I can go before the water gets too deep. Should have brought my wellies. Of course, all the interesting stuff, the genuinely interesting stuff, is on the walls of the cave or the mine, where you can see evidence of the mining process itself, which I'm really not an expert in at all. Should have brought my wellies. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go any further. As I say, it just comes to an end, and then you have to turn around and come back. But my feet are already in the water, so I'll just turn around and we'll head back out again. It's a nice echo though. Well, that was fun. So I believe these little holes are where they put explosives. So we're rapidly getting towards the end of Biggin Dale now, where it joins Wolfscote Dale and the River Dove. And as we get to the bottom of Biggin Dale and into Wolfscote Dale, the scale of the landscape dramatically changes up a gear. And look at the sheer size of the cliff sides to Wolfscote Dale. When you walk along the top, if you do choose to walk along the top, you get to the top of Drabator, and the views from that point are just tremendous. Not only looking up Biggin Dale, but looking along Wolfscote Dale as well. A little spring. And here we are in Wolfscote Dale, alongside the River Dove. It is actually quite misty still in the dale. So as you come out of Biggin Dale, you want to turn left. This year I wanted to do more classic walks. I've done them all before. In some cases, like this one, I've done it several times, but I mean, why not do walks like this? The absolutely incredible landscape. And the truth is, I am running out of new places to go, places to explore. So I'm making a conscious decision this year to kind of ration out the new places, ration out the explore walks. I'll still do them on a fairly regular basis, but I think maybe once a month or so I'll do a classic walk. I mean, look at this. Here we have another cave. This one's quite small. Interestingly, unlike the one in Biggin Dale, this one is marked on the very old Ordnance Survey maps, which also give it a name, which the contemporary Ordnance Survey map doesn't do. It doesn't name it. So this is Sheepfold Cave. Here we are, Sheepfold Cave. I guess it was just used as a shelter by the shepherds, who presumably would have had a sheepfold somewhere around here. Another point of interest along here is this old pump. And it actually looks like someone's cleaned it up since I was last here. It was full of litter. It's surprisingly quiet along this part of Wolfscote Dale. Biggin Dale, in contrast, actually had far more people. So on this route, we only follow Wolfscote Dale for a very short section. So after a fairly short stretch of following the River Dove, you'll get to this interesting looking building. And this is where we turn off and we head up here. It is signed Footpath to Tissington Trail. Many of these rock outcrops have small caves in them. Near the top of the side dale, there is a gate. I've just come off route to sit and have my lunch. Very nice in the sunshine. There's only a very small section left. I'm going to drop back into this dale and then climb up the other side. And then back onto the Tissington Trail for a very short distance. However, there are some interesting things to come on the final section. On the way up, keep an eye open for this pretty impressive old lime kiln on your left-hand side. So much of this area was lead mined, and here we have what's left of the quarry just above the old lime kiln. The old maps also show an old sheepfold in this area. There does appear to still be a bit of an inversion going on over there. Where I am right now is known as Knowe. But an older name for it, and probably a more accurate name, is Knowe. And if you look at the very oldest Ordnance Survey maps, they will say something about a sword being found in this area. There is a mound. It's probably not very clear on the in the video, but when you're here right in front of me, this is a very distinct mound, and this is a barrow that was excavated. What it says on the old Ordnance Survey map is ancient sword found 1852, which isn't exactly accurate. This was excavated by Bateman a few years before 1852, and a dagger was found, a human skeleton was found, various other things were found. I'll put information on the screen. I mean, I assume it was where I was stood, but there's a possibility it could have been here. But anyway, we're back to the Tissington Trail. There's a small gate here, and then a narrow path running up to the Tissington Trail. Wow, those inversions have surprised me. I thought they were all gone. Anyway, here we go. So we've just come up here. This is the Tissington Trail, and turn left. It's only a short distance. In fact, you might be able to see just over there is the lay-by where we parked. That's really strange. It doesn't look like it's lifted hardly at all since this morning. So I think I'll give this a go. Some classic walks, occasional classic walks on the channel. Not very often, maybe once a month or so. Let me know what you think. I hope you did enjoy this. Let me know in the comments. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.